Minshew Mania returns. That was another weird situation where on Twitter, I don't know if you guys saw it, there's the whole Gardner Minshew and the Eagles beat the Jets, and some guy on Twitter was like, why is he celebrating so hard? It's the Jets. Like, me and 11 people could have beat the Jets. Like,
I hate that,
Twitter just went after that guy like a crazy. Like,
why shouldn't he? It was his first start this entire season.
I know. Lounis, you have Jalen Hurts in our league, right? And you saw what Gardner Minshew did. Is there actually any concern? Like what's the panic meter
about Minshew?
Yeah, like a 1 to 10 level.
Can I say like a 0 or 1 or 2?
I mean, you can. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
If you're the Jalen Hurts owner, your concern is not with Minshew. Your concern is with the likes of
Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
My concern is not they're not going to start Minshew over Jalen Hurts. Like if you ask about concerns of the Jalen Hurts owner, your fear is, hey, they have 3 first-round picks, and Wilson and Deshaun Watson might be on the trade market.
And
that should
Rodgers.
be your Rodgers. I don't think they'd go for kind of the older quarterback because they still need to build some parts of their roster. But I mean, if Rodgers became available, I don't know if anyone's saying no. But yeah, like that's the concern for Jalen Hurts owners. They're not going to be high enough to pick Matt Corral. It's a relatively weak quarterback class. If it was like last year's class, it'd be a whole different factor.
Quarterbacks this class are getting underrated.
Yeah, but what about Minshew though? What do we if you have
I think he should be a
Minshew or
starter.
you're looking for a cheap
I agree.
quarterback?
He's a top 32 quarterback in the NFL currently.
What's his value though? Is he a second round pick now?
I'm not giving up a second.
What I'm
I
more
don't think
confused
you need to. I don't think you need to give up a second round pick for Gardner Minshew right now. I think a lot of people are down on him since he got just completely thrown away by the Jaguars and then signed a deal to be the backup quarterback in Philly. I mean, he played really good this Sunday, albeit it was against the Jets. So don't want to read too much into that. But he's shown in the NFL that he can be a productive quarterback. Now, he might not be the most showy quarterback. He's not going to go out there and throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns like the likes of Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, all those guys. But he's a guy that can win you games. He's a tough guy. He puts his body on the line, and he manages the game well. He will not lose you the game, which is a thing that I think a lot of teams would take rather than who they have right now.
Yeah, right now Minshew is still super low on keep trade cut. He's at about 1,000 value. So you're right. He'd be around the 3rd round pick category. I feel like if I had Minshew, I'm not going to sell him for a 3rd. Like right now, the upside is just kind of worth it. Because to me, and I saw reports of this on Twitter, apparently like teams are now thinking about Minshew as a potential trade opportunity. And I could easily see that happening in the offseason after kind of the quarterback carousel happens with whatever happens with Deshaun Watson, Rodgers, all the guys that we just mentioned. If there's a team that gets boned, and we're going to go over some of the teams that are going to be looking at quarterbacks, well, all of a sudden a team might be choosing between Minshew or a Jimmy Garoppolo or something. And if you're a team like Lounis was saying where you're looking for more of a franchise quarterback than a bridge quarterback or like a rental kind of quarterback, maybe you say fuck it and throw a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick, whatever it costs in the NFL draft for a Minshew.
What the Jags sold him for was ridiculous. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the Eagles got more for Joe Flacco than the Jags did for Minshew.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Which is ridiculous. I don't know why the Jags sold him that low. Like, I know you're going to start Lawrence, obviously.
Probably to avoid quarterback controversy.
Still, they sold him for what, a 6th?
Yeah, but there's a lot more stuff that goes on behind the scenes too, though, because Minshew was probably just wanted out for his career as well. Like, I mean, T-Law's there. There's no potential. So he probably went to the organizations like, dude, trade me. And then what are you going to do? Keep a guy hostage looking for like a 5th round pick instead of a 6th?
I got. Would you guys rather have Minshew or Trubisky in Dynasty?
That's a good question because I think they're kind of in similar positions. I
think Mitch's upside is higher. Mitch has a higher upside, but I do think that a team that is looking for a bridge quarterback would rather play Gardner Minshew because he's a safer option. He's not going to turn the ball over as many times as Mitch might.
I actually fully agree with Jake there. I think Mitch has the higher ceiling, but I think a team will feel more comfortable with Minshew.
In Dynasty, I just think Mitch is stuck in Buffalo. Because the Buffalo knows the value of a backup quarterback. They're just going to hold on to Mitch. Whereas Gardner Minshew could end up anywhere. And that kind of unknown, I think, kind of propels Minshew to me.
Here's the one thing I'll say about Minshew is that, and we need to see more games probably before I can make a full opinion. But the big problem that I had with Minshew in Jacksonville was too much off-schedule stuff for a guy that doesn't have that upper-tier talent, right? He had that, this is going to sound crazy, but bear with me, that kind of like Mahomes-esque play style in terms of just holding on to the ball, rolling out, trying to, and Mahomes is athletic and he's got a fucking cannon, so he can kind of get away with it. Minshew, on the other hand, when he does that, he's not going to get away with it as much.
So we're putting him.
Scenarios.
You're putting him somewhere between Ben DiNucci and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, no, like just that sort of play style where
wow,
but it's too off schedule. You know, he needs to dial it back where he can still, like Tony Romo was a guy that was able to do off schedule stuff, but he didn't live in it. He didn't live in that world.
My point is, how much of that off schedule stuff was Minshew versus the Jags? Offensive line was garbage. His receivers weren't open. The whole product.
You look at that Eagles game the other day. I mean, he looks like he knows the playbook inside and out. I mean, he's getting the now. I will give some credit where credit is due. The Jets defense wasn't making it very hard on him. C.J. Mosley does not look like an NFL linebacker anymore in pass coverage. Dallas Goedert had years of space.
Goddard just torched him.
He was wide open on both the touchdowns.
And
especially
he looked like he really trusted his arm. I mean, fact of the matter is, like, you could have bought Minshew for low, and I have Minshew. I'm not looking to sell him for anything aside from a very, very early third or a very, very late second. I think I'd rather just keep him for upside and see if, because the minute that he gets traded to a potential starting job, you can get a second round pick for him.
Yeah.
All right.
1,000%.